I've got something.
Oh, here, I have a chocolate bar.
Here, have some.
Thanks. What? I think I have something else. I'm sure you will like this one. Thanks. Oh!
Do you often feel irritated by minor imperfections? Have you ever felt obligated to do a meaningless thing with no reason behind it at all? For example, walk through a hallway by standing on the white squares only. Or like in the example with the girls, use things only the way they are supposed to be used. If you're familiar with this feeling, then you're possibly among the 12.5% of the human population who has obsessive-compulsive disorder, otherwise known as OCD. Don't worry, no, you don't have a mental disorder. You have a biological disorder. On a more serious note, OCD is a biological disorder in which people have unwanted thoughts, feelings, and ideas accompanied with behaviors. They drive them to do things over and over and over. In many cases, people do act upon the behavior to get rid of the obsessive thoughts. It basically means having a thought on doing something, like washing your hands even when they are clean, unable to think of anything else other than the need to go and wash your hands. And in fact, you won't be able to get rid of the thought unless you go and wash your hands. These mental obsessions, aka thoughts, include things like perfectionism, where people are concerned about exactness, needing to remember things, and afraid of losing something. Religious obsessions, where people are concerned about offending God, which often leads to a continuous process of praying. And finally, the most common one, contamination, the concern about body fluids, germs, and dirt in general. People with this type of OCD often clean their house from top to bottom several times a day until it feels clean. As you can already tell, OCD comes in a huge variety of ways, and it can also be severe and mild. Among the severe cases of OCD, the person has absolute no control over deciding to act upon the behavior or not. For example, if the person is thinking of moving that one stick to make the row perfectly symmetrical, then believe me, he will, since he won't be able to think of anything else as long as the row is imperfect. People with OCD know that the unwanted desires and thoughts they are having are meaningless, but it's not strong enough to keep them of actually doing it. Everything is similar when it comes to a mild case of OCD, except for one thing. Despite the desires and thoughts they are having, people with mild case of OCD can actually control themselves and not act upon the behavior. So now that we've learned about OCD and its types, let's go deeper into the core and see the reasons leading to it. Many people are surprised by the fact that OCD is a biological disorder and not a mental one, since it messes with your thoughts, right? Well, here is the reason behind it. The center responsible for OCD is basal ganglia, a system constructed of 5 structures, all of which are located almost at the center of the brain. The interconnection of these 5 structures are responsible for things like motor cortex, behavior, and emotion. These 3 factors together form OCD. And in case of the damage of basal ganglia, we get OCD. So now that I gave you information about this widespread disorder, I hope that you'll have a better understanding about the obsessive behaviors that you or others around you may have experienced before. That's it for this video, and thanks for watching.